Here are 22 romance novels that I purchased recently online, and I paid $24 for them. And they just arrived in the mail today, so I thought we'd take a look at them. Here are the spines. Those are Second Chance at Love, and then some Harlequin, and so on. So now we'll start off with the coolest looking one so far. Cashel Mara by Susan Howich. This is more of a historical novel rather than a romance per se. And there's the cover, published by Fawcett Crest in the 1970s. One of her other books. And you can see it kind of follows a family type of thing there. One of those epic type books. Originally published in 1974 in this edition, paperback edition. It's from 75. But I had started reading it today, and just to get a sense of it, and I was quite impressed by the writing. Chapter 1. There were two subjects I never discussed, my dead wife and Cashel Mara. So when I first met a woman with whom I could discuss both subjects with ease, it was hardly surprising that I should once again flirt with the idea of marriage. So this chapter, or section, is from his perspective, Edward's point of view. And then the other parts of the book will have other characters' points of view. Anyway, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of thick, too. But this may be the next book I read, because when I'm done with two others that I'm trying to finish, just because I read like the first 3 pages right away, really grabbed me. This is a book by Rona Randall, published by Avon, and looks like in the 1970s. Glenn Rannoch. See, this was 1973. This novel was first published by Ace Books in 1973 as The Midnight Walker. This edition is from July 1981, first Avon printing. And let's see, it says, I paid little heed to the footsteps that first night at Glen Ramach. If someone from this isolated mansion chose to walk abroad at night, they were more Spartan than I, coming as I did from the milder south. Blah, blah, blah. It looks interesting. Maybe perhaps more of a Gothic type feel to it. Lover's Meeting, published by Popular Library, which Fawcett owned at that time. A novel by Molly Hardwick. This is a book about a group of 4 actors in the early 1800s, in the Regency era. So it's 1979, 1813 when this takes place. And I got 2 books by Denise Robbins, who was a longtime famous British writer, involved in the early years of the Romantic Writers Association in England. And there's the picture of her. So these, I guess, they look kind of like Barbara Cartland's books. These are also published by Avon. Barbara Cartland's at the time were being published by Bantam and also Pyramid. Red edges. And a lot of there were some other publishers, I think, also publishing Denise Robbins. Now this book is from 1954 originally. The Avon edition was from 79. And this book here is from 55. Shaping Loyalty, and I think it was like a month afterward it came out to me then, in a month before, September 79. Here are two Signet regencies from the 1980s that they bought. They're sort of early Signet regencies. Carolyn Brooks, Marchman's Lady, and Norma Lee Clark. The perfect match. I love these covers. They have this very appealing, old-fashioned quality to them. It makes me wonder why I didn't notice these at the time, because I would have been interested in, I was always interested in older type stuff. Why did I take no interest? Why did I never notice these on the bookstore shelves back in the 1980s? I do not know. They look fun. And then we have 3 Richard Gallen books, which I've been collecting. These were published by Pocket Books in the early 1980s. These two were Diana Morgan's first 2 books, not to be confused with Diana Plummer. This was actually a pen name for a male and female couple. I believe they were agents, literary agents. Yes, so it's right there. And it gives their names. And so Trade Secrets was the first Diana Morgan book, and I believe this was the second one. And these are both contemporaries. And then this one is a historical by Barbara Faith. Gallen Historical. And we have this here, Linton Park No. 2, a Mayfair romance. It's a Regency by Hilary Desmond. And as far as I know, there's a Linton Park No. 1. And that's it, I think, just when I Googled it. This was published by Pinnacle Books. And Hilary Desmond is actually a pen name for Lee Hayes. There's the information there, July 1981. That looks interesting. Captive Kisses by Maxine Patrick, who is also Jennifer Blake, who wrote a lot of historical stuff, historical romance novels. This was published by Signet in around 1980. Now it's a contemporary. Here's the information about the book, and you can see there was other Maxine Patrick books available at that time. Whoops. Kind of hard to do this one-handed. Just to give you a sense of what the book is like. And Dell's Candlelight Romance series. I'm a fan of this series. Captured by Love by Jean Hager. And from May 1981. Bait and Switch, a Harlequin Intrigue, number 36. So this was very early in the run of Harlequin Intrigue by Joanne Ross. And let's see. Thing about the author. February 1986 when this came out. And here's a couple more Harlequins. 1970s, and I think this is like 78 or so. There's an ad for Leopard in the Snow, which was an Ann Mather novel that was made into a movie starring Keir Dullea of 2001: A Space Odyssey fame. Now this is 78. And here's a Betty Niels novel from the 1980s at the end of the day. This is Harlequin Omnibus, number 55. 3 great novels by Rachel Lindsay, so it's really thick. And it just reprints 3 of Rachel Lindsay's Harlequin romance novels from the early 1970s. And that's pretty much it. It actually has some illustrations in there too, though. Rachel Lindsay also being known as Roberta Lee. There's the copyright info there, probably hard to see. So there's an illustration. Normally the Harlequins don't have illustrations, but these ones do. Or at least not just at the beginning of the book. And there's like, oops, there we go. There's another one there. Question of marriage. See if I can find the third one. Oh, well, I might have passed that. I'm not going to bother. Oh, there it goes. Moonlight and Magic. And finally, here we have some 4 books by of the Second Chance at Love category romance, published by Jove Berkeley. And there's another Diana Morgan one there. These were in the 1980s. This was the original cover format. Looked kind of like Harlequin Presents. It was from like 1982, book number 90. And then they changed it up. I prefer this cover format. It looks a little more dramatic and less imitative of Harlequin. And the cool thing is they would have like these little editorial stuff. Here's a bio of Diana Morgan. And then it has Dear Reader, and it's a thing from about the editor, talking about other books that they have coming out, and so on. This book is from 1986. I believe Second Chance at Love ended in 1989. The last books of Second Chance at Love came out in 1989. And there's 2 others that I got. And that's it. So those are all the books that I bought recently to add to my growing collection. Thanks for watching.